right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Cover the Front podcast. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Steve Dubel, and I am the squadron commander for 215 Cavalry Squadron. And today I have with me Coach Chris and Jordan from the H2F team, because today we are talking holistic health and fitness. Guys, if you could do me a favor and just briefly introduce yourselves and what your role is on the team.
Yeah, Coach Chris Munoz. I'm the lead strength and conditioning coach for the brigade, and then so I facilitate and help manage all the coaches and make sure we're getting everything done for the footprint that we need in terms of strength and conditioning. So trainees, permanent party, everybody, we try and get everybody bigger, faster, stronger.
Awesome. Jordan?
And I'm Jordan Orek, the athletic trainer for 215. My job is primarily any sort of musculoskeletal injuries, getting them diagnosed, rehab back, get them back into training as quickly as we can.
Okay. All right, so H2F as a concept in a program was introduced to the Army in late 2020. Can you guys kind of give us an overview of the program and then specifically why it's important for our trainees and our cadre here?
Yeah, so H2F, Holistic Health and Fitness, there's 5 different domains that we try to incorporate regarding nutrition, sleep, religious health, physical,
yeah,
mental.
yep.
We work as a whole team in order to get those trainees more prepared for their future jobs. So whether it be, okay, I'm having difficulty sleeping, okay, let's get you to this person. My training is affected and it's affecting all these other different realms, so we act as a whole team in order to help propel that treatment better.
Yeah, the best analogy I can give is like think of a college strength and condition or college sports performance department, right? You're gonna have athletic trainers, you're gonna have strength coaches, you're gonna have dietitians, you're gonna have a representative from FCA most likely. So it's the closest thing to an analog for that. We try and provide those services just in this setting.
So that's a tremendous amount of resources. What do you guys actually have available here to see the trainees? Right. So, Chris, on your team, how many coaches do you have that you can bring to the table?
Yeah, so we have a total of 7 coaches on my team, and we are embedded within each battalion and squadron. And so we, with the trainees, a lot of that is red phase. We have a robust curriculum we've developed that helps kind of introduce them to basic body mechanics, basic exercise technique, and also gives them a preview of what the ACFT events are going to look like, right? So the first time they get to ACFT 1, it's not new to them, right? They have not just good technique, not just good form, but they're going to have, kind of a little bit of experience in executing those deals. So we're going to get better baseline scores for them out of ACFT 1 to get us a better measurement of what our PT is doing for them over the course of OSET, right? So it's that aspect of it. It's also trying to reduce soft tissue, skeletal muscle injuries, right? There's a lot of other things that go into injuries, BSIs, and those types of things, but if we can at least get soft tissue out of the way, that's a start, right? So
sure.
Our job with trainees is mostly done in those first couple weeks that they get here through the Road to ACFT 1, the RAFT program. And it's really just to give them the best possible start that they can get as they go through OSET.
Okay. And Jordan, can you talk a little bit about what's available on the care and the recovery side for trainees and cadre?
Yep. So in 194th, there's 4 athletic trainers total, including at 30th, each one athletic trainer for each squadron or battalion. So our job, along with injury diagnosis and treatment, we also teach recovery classes, teaching them how to, okay, you just had this hard, intense workout. Let's get you stretched. Let's show you what you can do to help facilitate recovery and prevent any future injuries that could happen from either tightness, soreness, anything like that. We also provide handouts for all of the troops. That way they can, on their own, try to learn different techniques, what works best for you, because some things don't work well for some people. So there's different types of stretching techniques or whatever. Figure out what works best for you. This is how you do it.
Okay. So the program consists of the 5 different pillars, which you outlined earlier. And it's kind of easy to understand the physical fitness component of which you guys really are the representatives for. But they're really all intertwined. So how does the physical fitness aspect help us prepare for something like mental readiness?
Well, physical fitness, we know already that it has such an impact on mental health generally, right? But just the idea of consistent training, pushing yourself, working to overcome adversity, those are all things that are going to contribute to mental health, right? And then we're also going to actively take our cognitive performance specialists, which we have on our team, and we're going to utilize her skills when we have certain trainings, right? So she'll come, part of RAF, she'll come out to RAF classes. She's got a goal-setting session she does with the trainees. She's got a mindfulness session that she does with them in conjunction with, run form technique or something like that. So we are all about incorporating other domains, and we will use our CPS for the mental aspect. But exercise in general is just good for your mental health anyway, right? It's the idea of pushing yourself and bettering yourself, not through instant gratification, but through the just day-to-day little slight improvements you're going to make along the way if you're consistent about it.
And basic training is supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be stressful, and we tell them that from the get-go. A lot of times they'll get injured. They think that it's the worst-case scenario. They're going to get kicked out. So a lot of emotions start flowing, and a lot of that negativity and loss of motivation, she will help us facilitate with, get them back ready to, once they get cleared or RTD'd, return to training after an injury, she can help. Okay, this is what you can look forward to next. This is how you cope with maybe being down a little bit. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, she does a great job. It's like you said, OSA, it's supposed to be hard. That's part of it. But she'll teach them skills to help navigate that kind of and reframe the way they think of it. So, OSA, it's how many weeks?
Depends.
Well, here.
Yeah, so for here, right, for 19 Charlies, it's 18 weeks, and then for Deltas, it's 22 weeks.
All right, but basic is how long?
Basic is 10.
weeks.
Right, so that's a lot more, like that number, like just reframing like, hey, don't worry about OSA right now. Take care of the 10 weeks in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, let's start there,
And
right?
a lot of people, this is probably the most stressful thing they'll ever go through in their life, and they've never had to deal with an environment like this before. So she really helps bridge that gap, and it's like, you will be okay. This is not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, and it's a critical component of building that mindset and the resiliency to face, the future challenges of large-scale combat, which is one of the major components of our aims and getting after it here. So one of the questions I get over and over again, right, is if I'm a recruit or I just signed up and I have a ship date, is I know that it's going to be physically strenuous. How can I prepare myself?
The first thing I'd say is anything is better than nothing, right? The last thing you want to do is come to basic and just have any kind of conditioning and or strength at all. Like, even if you don't do anything right now, getting up and just starting walking anything will help. But I would definitely recommend, if not just that, seeking out resources, things that are going to help you prepare your body for it, right? Flexibility is going to be a huge one, starting to get your muscles used to that, understanding what soreness is and how to manage it, right? And then anything you can do to edify yourself on basic exercise technique. We're going to teach you that with my team anyway, but the more foundation you have coming in, the better off you're going to be anyway.
One thing I'll say is do not go run 2 miles every single day the month before you come.
No.
So many people start to do that. They're overloading their bodies, and then that's when all these injuries start to happen. Do what you can normally do. Run some, get used to it, but try to not overload so much.
So that brings me to my next question, right, which is what is the most common injury we see, and how can we already start to prevent that by, looking, 2 to 3 weeks before they even ship over to us?
So the Army has this injury called bone stress injuries. So think of like a stress fracture that a marathon runner would get from training. So many people, especially nowadays, vitamin D is low, bone health is low. So the constant load and impact on their bones is causing swelling and eventually can cause a stress fracture. All of that comes from either unconditioned muscles, they're not strong enough, they've never done this type of physical activity before. So prepping, like Coach Chris said, doing even just basic things like start doing some air squats, some lunges, some jumping, anything to help load those bones can help prevent some of it. Now, vitamin D, calcium, that's going to be a big help also. Get that bone health ready. Other than your basic sprains, strains, tendinitis, that sort of thing helps with recovery. So if you're able to stretch, recover after a hard workout, those more chronic injuries will start to decrease also. But the biggest thing is the bone stress.
Okay. So there's a lot of resources out there, from our own manual FM 722 on holistic health and fitness to training guides online, et cetera. So if I'm trying to avoid bone stress injury and being active, what kind of resources are available online that I should go look at? And you've produced one yourself, so where can I find that?
Go ahead.
So in terms of recovery, there's a website called HEP2Go, HEP number 2 Go. It's free. You can sign up. It's got tons of different stretches, recovery, mobility type of work. It's got every body part listed. Like you said, we created a document, usually for holiday block leave, so the trainees can remain conditioned while they're at home. But we can definitely attach that and send that out also.
Yeah, and if you're going to be looking through the internet outside of that, the sources that Jordan just mentioned, just be careful where you get your information. Just because someone's on Instagram and looks the part doesn't mean they can play the part, right?
Sure.
So I would always make sure that where you're getting your information is through someone who's certified, someone who knows and can prove that they know what they're talking about. The NSCA is always a good one. CSCCA is another good one. Those are like the higher end certifications, and make sure whoever you're getting your information from has some kind of certification through that. I would start there, and just be careful. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Those types of things. But but the internet can be a really valuable resource, YouTube and those places to find stuff, especially if you're just getting started.
Okay. And so we've spent a lot of time talking about physical fitness in particular. Why is that so important for a soldier and their career path as they look towards warfighting?
Well, your body physically is going to respond to stress, right? So perception is a big thing. And this is, again, going back to the mental domain tying in. But think of a roller coaster, right? You get about to get on a roller coaster. What are the things you start to feel? Your heart starts to pick up a little bit, maybe a little shaking, all that stuff, right? That's your body's response to reacting to the environment. But the way you perceive that changes the experience, right? Some people will feel that and start to interpret it as fear. Some people will see that and interpret it as excitement. It's the same thing. Physiologically, it's the same thing. Physical training helps your body prepare for what that reaction to stress is going to feel like, right? So if we can start to build confidence, and when you feel those symptoms of fatigue, physical stress, but environmental stress, and all those things, if we can expose you to that through our training, and keep you focused on the task at hand, keep you focused on the next set, the next rep, then when you get to war fighting, right, it's just what's the next command? What's the next mission objective? Just do that, what's in front of you, and your body will be able to handle everything else.
Yeah. End of the day, you have to be physically fit to do the job at hand, whether it's whatever training your unit's going to have, even just passing an ACFT. So if that's what you want to train towards, it'll eventually end up just rolling over and helping you with your daily job anyways, those ACFT drills.
All right. Well, thanks, team. That's been a brief insight into one of the most important components of our training here in producing physically fit and ready soldiers that are ready to fight and win our next war through the pillars of H2F. Chris and Jordan, thanks so much for sharing with us. And please make sure to check out their training program, which we will link below with this video. And until next time, Lions cover the front. Thanks.